Yo, welcome to another episode of the Larry O Show. Got my co-host to the left of me as always.
What's going on, y'all? It's John Phelps.
I'm Larry O. This is an FL Studio podcast where we talk about everything FL Studio and music production related. Every single week, we give away every single one of my courses to 5 people in the comments from yahelpme.com. All you have to do to enter is listen for the keyword or the key phrase, drop it down in the comment section here on YouTube, and you're automatically entered. Every single week, we pin the winners in the comments. We have a really dope guest on today. She goes by the name of Cobannah. Yo, you have the dopest tag. The tag, like, you know what it reminds me of is Canon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Did you have somebody make that?
Yeah, I went to this website probably like 3 years ago. I don't know if the website's still up, but I just typed in what I wanted and how I wanted it, and then he sent it back.
At one point, there was like a ton of accounts on IG, like, yo, you need custom tags, you need custom tags. I haven't seen those in a while, but if you're not familiar, Cobannah has some of the dopest content on IG that I've come across lately. I don't know when it was exactly. What drew me to your content was the stuff that you're doing at like crazy high BPMs.
Oh.
I think I might have followed you before that, but then I saw that and I was like, oh, this is like something different that's not so ridiculous left field, but it's enough to get people really interested.
Correct. So that actually, like my first BPM video, that happened by accident. I wasn't trying to go that high. My finger slipped. I was trying to put the BPM in, and it just went up to like 500. I'm like, let me see if I make a beat on 500, how it would sound. And I was just like, okay, let me record this. Posted it. The first one went crazy.
And that's the crazy thing is it made me want to try it too, because what happens with that is, yeah, it's just a tempo that you would normally use, but just doubled and doubled and doubled.
And it's creative, you know?
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
it's
a creative way to like hack into some maybe idea for a melody you might not have thought of at like a slower thing.
Yeah. So. Do you feel like that happens? Do you feel like that inspires you and motivates you to make something maybe a little bit different than you normally have because the tempo is different, BPM's different, maybe the vibe is different?
Absolutely. I feel like the BPM has a very, very big role in how your beat or instrumental is going to sound. I feel like I'm just that by doing that so many times, you know?
Yeah. How did you get into FL, and when did you start using FL?
Oh, man. So I started on FL5. I'm not sure what year that came out, but ever FL5 came out, that's what I started.
Yeah, like shortly after I started then.
Yeah.
I think I started on 3. So a little bit after that, maybe a few years after that.
Okay, yeah. I started on 5, and then I went on to 7, 8, 9. I stayed on 9 for so long. Like, I think 9 was my favorite FL.
You don't hear that much.
Hey.
Everybody says 11 or 12 for some reason.
I love 9. Like,
what about 9? What about it?
I don't know. I just feel like at that time, I felt like my beats were getting a lot better. And I felt like I was just able to utilize it better. I felt like it sounded better a little bit. And I don't know. I just think I was just happy to like be getting better with my craft at that point. You know what I mean?
That's when things just started really clicking.
Exactly.
What kind of beats were you starting off making? Like, who were some producers that you heard when, like, that you wanted to start the journey from?
Oh, man. My heavy influence when I first started making beats. By the way, when I first started making beats, they were not good at all.
Yo, fair.
I'm pretty sure everybody has that same story.
Oh my goodness. But
Something's got to get you inspired. You got to start somewhere, and nobody starts good. Nobody. There's not one person that starts making good beats. Not one.
So yeah, Lex Luger.
Hell yeah.
Really influenced me a lot. Like, to the point where like I would be like, okay, let me try to make this beat that he just made to see if I can make it. It never sounded like his, but I got the gist of where he was going. So it sounds similar, but it wasn't like his. Who else did I like?
Sonny Digital at all? Like from that era of
I was hit to him at that time. It was just like Lex Luger and Zaytoven. And
yes.
For me, and a little bit of Timbaland, because at that time he was my favorite producer. So yeah, for sure, those were my influences back then. But now nobody influences me now, because I try to like do what I can do and be original, you know?
Real.
So FL is the only DAW that you've used to make beats on? Is that the only thing that you've used, or you used anything else before?
So I started on Ableton. That was my first DAW that I ever touched. And then I went to Reason, And I'm like, okay, I don't like the way this looks. The drums sound flat. I just didn't like the way it looked and how the drums sound. So I was like, okay. I touched FL after those. And once I touched FL, I never looked back at any other DAW as far as like my main DAW. But I'm savvy in Logic and Pro Tools. Like I'm savvy in every DAW, but like FL is the main DAW that I use.
Dope. Yeah, I don't really hear that much. I feel like when I have a conversation with somebody that's been using FL for a long time, it's usually FLs from the jump. That's how it was for me. But then I got introduced to other DAWs like a little bit later on. Like I had to run some studio sessions with Logic, with Pro Tools, with Cubase. I ran Cubase for a while. Back when FL couldn't really record. I mean, FL has that, that stigma of people saying, you can't record in FL. It was, at one point, it was like 100% true. Like you really couldn't. You just couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
And then they got better and better and better at it. So I had to use different DAWs, but that's cool. So you started on FL5. Do you find yourself using a lot of stock melody instrument plugins, or do you use a lot of third party, or is it like a mix?
Honestly, I use a lot of third party. Now, whenever I go through a period of time where I'm like tired of the plugins that I have, or I'm not trying to keep spending money on plugins, I'll go back into the stock and I'll pull things out, but it's not all the time that I use stock plugins as far as like instruments.
Mm-hmm. I see that you're in a lot of studio sessions, right?
Oh man.
Decent amount.
Every week.
Yeah, every week. What do you like? How do those sessions run usually? Because that's something that I've never really like. I've never like gotten into like big group studio sessions like that where it was like a thing. I feel like you're in Atlanta, right?
Yes.
I feel like in Atlanta especially, it's like the hub for that. Everybody is on the same time and the same page as far as like, yo, let's get together, let's get in the studio. Like, how do those sessions work? Can you run down maybe like how did you get into getting into sessions like that? What's the networking like? And like how's the etiquette when it comes to that?
First and foremost, you have to put yourself out there to be able to like be in those rooms, You can't be at your computer all day expecting to be in these rooms. You just can't. So what I did was, this is free game right here. Join beat battles. Even if you think you're going to lose, join those beat battles, get your face out there. Be in the crowd, like show people that you're alive. That's step one. Now, as far as like being in those studios in Atlanta, they do a lot of camps, like producer camps, and then artists will come. I'm in a lot of those sessions, and the etiquette is pretty much like we're all friends, we're all cool. You know what I mean? Like it's a good time. It's a place to have fun more so than like I've been to some camps where it's like, let's get to work. We're doing this, we're doing that, which is also fine for me. You know what I mean? Because I love to work, but like most of the sessions is just a lot of fun to me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And have you do you feel like some of the opportunities and the placements that you get are the majority of them coming from those in-person sessions, or networking, maybe like a couple of years down the line that you knew it was somebody that you met in a studio session? Do you feel like the majority of them come from more of the in-person stuff or more of the online stuff?
I would say 99.9% of in-person. You have to build relationships, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Who are some producers and artists that you kind of come into the orbit with and started working relationships with?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Oh, like who are some of the producers and artists that like you want to take a moment to shout out, and like some people that you be cooking up with?
Oh man, so I'm a part of this this movement called Ladies First, right? So it's like we're producers, we're engineers, we're mothers, we're all these things, you know what I mean, behind the scene, and we're really, really super, super dope at it. It's called Ladies First. I want to shout out Ashley. Oh, she is amazing. She plays over 10 instruments. Like she amazes me every time.
That's
Tasha,
awesome.
she's dope. She's super dope. And Jess, all three of them. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shouts out. Women first, man. That's huge. That's incredible. And is that out of like one studio, or do you guys link up at different locations?
So actually we just started this. It is at one location right now, but we have so many things in the works, like to the point where we're liable to be everywhere. You know what I mean? If it makes sense.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, for
Big time.
one studio, and we have special guests sometimes, and it's a nice time. We got a lot of stuff planned for this year for the ladies.
That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
When you do the in-person sessions, are you doing them a lot with producers and artists, or mostly producers?
Mostly producers. I would love to be around more artists. I have been lately. I've been around more artists, but for the most part, it's mostly producers. I love collabing with producers in person. I love that because I always learn something new, no matter if they're better than me or not. I always learn something.
Yeah, and that's what I found too. Like, it really doesn't matter when you're in person with somebody. I feel like I'll always learn something. It's like watching a video online, but like in person, it's just something different because you're already there to collab with that person. So you already like clicked or connected with that person in a sense of like, all right, we're going to get together. We click. Let's, get the vibes going. Let's cook up. And then on top of that, you're learning from each other. Whether, like you said, like you're at a different level than them or they're at a different level from you. Like, I feel like both parties always learn something from each other. It's so cool.
Yes.
And when you're like, you know what I just heard recently? And I think it was like last night. I heard this producer talking about studio sessions that he has, right? He's a producer and he's got some placements. And he was talking about something, and it's a term that I've never heard of because I've never been like in that world of like meeting up in, session after session with different producers and artists trying to get placements. I've never like attacked that whole like placement world yet. So he brought up a term that I never heard, and he was called a press play session. Have you ever heard of those?
Press play, meaning
like that's what I was saying too. I'm like, I never heard of a session like that, but the way when he said it, it made sense. But then I'm like, damn, like that's a crazy amount of pressure. What it is he's like, an artist will be in the studio, and all these producers will go there for this one artist. Like it could be like a big name artist, and they're all trying to get placements off of him. It's like a game show in a sense. It's like producers come in the room, and you have to like. You have to press basically you have to press play on your beats like you have beats that are already made. Like there's not a ton of time. Nobody's there to cook up from scratch. It's just let me hear what you got type of thing. But in person, and there's multiple producers there.
Hey, it's one way.
My heart was beating so bad one time. But they picked one of my beats, but it was just like okay. Because I never know what to play. Like I never know.
So you have been a part of a session like that?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Plenty.
That's pressure, yo. That's crazy. Like,
yes.
I mean, at the same time, though, it keeps you on your toes, and it keeps you,
For sure.
Yeah.
I remember I was in one of those press play sessions. I forgot who the artist was, but I was listening. It's kind of like Pass the Aux. So I was listening to the other guy's beats. And I kind of got intimidated because not because they were better, but they just sound different. You know what I mean? And I was thinking like, maybe I should start making beats like them, or maybe I should do this. And I'm like, no, keep who I am because I'm here for a reason. You know what I mean? They liked my sound, so keep what I have. You know what I mean?
Facts.
That's a good mentality to have because I'd be in that same position. I mean, it's only natural for us as producers to feel like that, like insecure. Yeah. Not and just like second guessing and questioning yourself and your skills, but having the confidence at the same time to be like, you know what, like I'm here, I'm here for a reason. I'm gonna play what I was gonna play, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We move on to the next thing. But it's still like at the end of the day, it's pressure because you strive for placements, you strive for networking and relationships, and the music business is so tough and it's so cutthroat that. You want to get in there. You want to get in there and you want to work. So,
sure.
But I mean, at the same time, it kind of gives you perspective. Even if you don't get a placement out of that opportunity, it gives you the perspective of like, all right, like I see what they chose. I see what they chose in the moment. I saw their facial expression when they saw the beat that they wanted to choose. So I know like kind of like what to go for maybe next time with an artist like this or that artist. So it kind of gives you a lot of perspective. I think it's a huge learning opportunity for something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just thought it was really interesting when he said that term, and I just never thought of it before. Like I knew those kind of sessions existed, but never gave it much thought because I'm not like in that world. I'm like, damn, that's crazy pressure. That's crazy pressure. But
so when you're not cooking up at 808 BPM, because I saw that video. That video was great. But like, what's kind of like your go-to when you want to just jump in and make something just for like the soul of it? You know what I mean?
Man, that's a good question because I have phases. You know, and right now my phase is synthwave. I'm in love with synthwave right now, like the 80s type.
That's fire.
Synthesizers and airy sounds, and man, I'm in love with that right now.
Do you have anything that you could pull up that you've been working on?
I'm sorry?
Do you have anything that you could pull up that you've been working on that you're like really into right now? And just give like a quick breakdown of like the melodies, because your melodies are so good. And they're all original stuff.
It's not synthwave, but I'll pull up something.
Yeah, whatever you got that's like on hand, because I think just showing a little bit of your workflow to the audience would be super beneficial. I think people would love to see it.
Oh, for sure. I made this beat for Lil Uzi.
Dope. Yep. First of all, let's talk about the pack that's on the left. What's that pack? That just is super eye-catching right now because of the way it's mapped out. That's your pack? That's your new pack?
Mine. I did the artwork and everything.
So I want to know how you have it laid out like that, because it just by the look of it, it looks crazy, and I'm sure it is. But like, how did you get it to lay out like that? I've dabbled in getting the folders to look like this before, with not with images in there, but like different colors, and it definitely stands out, like bigger text and whatnot. But like, how did you get it to look like that?
Mess with the NFOs. You know about NFO?
NFO, that's what it is. It's in the NFO. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta mess with the NFOs.
Dope.
But that's my new anime theme kit. It has like I don't know if you're in the anime. Whoever's in the anime will hear a lot of familiar sounds. Yeah, It's pretty dope. It's different.
Yeah, if you want to just maybe play the beat that you got open, and then we can break down some stuff in there, and maybe just talk about how you created it, maybe like instrument by instrument type of thing, or whatever kind of stands out. That's dope.
Now Cobannah.
Cobannah.
Let's go.
What do you have for automation going on over there in the front in the intro? And then like, it seems like the same automation plays in that buildup that you had too.
Oh yeah. So this is a Serum FX. You mess with that?
Serum?
It's a Serum FX plugin.
Serum FX plugin? No.
Oh man, amazing.
So wait, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's FX just the version. Effects version of it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they made that. What the hell?
Me neither.
I'm like living under a rock right now. I've never seen this in my life. I mean, it looks just like Serum. It has the same kind of interface as normal Serum, But it's just the effects?
Yeah, so I think like the new thing with plugins is like they're making instruments and then they're making effects plugins.
Because they're probably realizing there's another, they can make a little bit more money, and maybe people don't want that. People like the effects that they made for that plugin. Because I do get this. I get why they do it, and it makes sense. And I kind of want it now because I remember using Serum. And I'm not like a crazy sound designer at all, but I liked some of the presets with Serum. But I also loved the effects. Like the effects in there are really like top quality. Like they have a certain sound to them. They're really good.
Oh yeah, highly recommended.
So what are you using on here? So you're using, so you're doing a flanger, a phaser, a delay, and a filter. Are you using all of those?
So this is actually a preset, but yes, these are all the effects on here that I'm using, the ones that are highlighted. And then
you're just using like the mix knob automation.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's dope. What's that green one?
This Portal right here for the automation.
Portal.
Yes.
It's another one that a lot of people are using that I haven't really touched yet.
You haven't touched Portal yet?
Nah.
Oh,
I know I'm slacking big time.
You're not much of a sound designer, so do you like just use presets pretty much?
I use a lot of I use a lot of presets. I'm not like I don't sound design really. I mean, the extent of sound designing that I do are for the presets that I make for other people to just like drop for free or do like some paid packs on the website or whatever.
Okay, cool.
That's like the extent of it.
And
I'll like do tweaks. I'm like a preset and tweak guy. You know what I mean? Like I'll rock with presets as like a starting point and then go in there and just tweak certain things.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's definitely sound design still.
So with Portal, like what's that doing exactly?
All right, let's see what Portal is doing because I'm not 100% sure.
I feel you on that. Like just you throw something on there and you're like, just sounds good. I don't even know what it's doing. Just leave it.
Let's see.
Who makes Portal? Is that Output?
Yes, Output.
It looks like an Output plugin too.
Yeah, this is I think this is one of their stock packs in here. But what it's doing is it has some LFO action going on, and then some delay, some filter, and a little bit of pitch. Like I kind of mess with the what's it called? Macros.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mess with the macros a little bit. But for the most part, this right here, this is actually a preset. And like you were saying earlier, I kind of tweaked the preset a little bit. Like I changed this. I think this was something else before I put a filter on it.
Gotcha. Well, that's a cool looking plugin too. It looks like it has a lot of stuff going on. And you can get some crazy sounds out of that.
Oh yeah.
Real crazy. Filter section, LFO section.
Yeah.
Then you got a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff in there.
Damn. That's
you
dope.
Can get lost in this plugin.
And then again, with that one, you're doing a mix knob automation on the whole thing?
Yes. No,
Starting out all the way on?
Just on this.
It's just on that?
Yes.
And then the other one with Serum FX.
One's on the master.
That's on everything?
Yes.
Gotcha. Can you play that one more time, that intro, so now that we know like what you used, we can like kind of put two and two together?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, Banner.
All right. That's dope.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And then for the instruments, what are you using? Like on that main instrument that you have going on?
This main instrument, I believe it's this plugin called Bezel.
What is that?
This is like a synthesizer from UHE. UHE has so many synthesizers that I'm in love with because it just sounds different. Like there's a uniqueness to it, and every plugin that they have is pretty unique, but this is one of my favorites because they have so much. Like this is stock sounds. Like they just have so many sounds in here. Like it's endless, honestly.
Wow. Can you play that one solo? Just that one
Oh
main
yeah, I
melody?
think this one in particular, I deleted it after I exported it out so that I can not use so much of my CPU.
Yeah.
It's a
That's
good,
the
But
thing with a lot of third party
that's a good
plugins.
gem right there.
Yeah. Just drop it
Yeah.
in audio.
but honestly, I did that when my computer wasn't so my computer's good now. I'm just say that.
Yeah.
I upgraded everything inside of it.
You got that good processor now.
So,
Let's go.
yeah, everything good in here now. But I could play. Let me see. I might still have it. I could be wrong.
Even if you
But-
play it as the audio clip, that's cool.
Hold on, that's not it. That has the preset on it. Alright.
And you pitched it down.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I know what the problem is. The portal, I think. Yeah.
That's fire.
That's a great sound.
Yeah, I got to dabble in some other plugins, man. It's just
You've been on the stock life.
I've been
you've
on the stock life, bro. Stock life.
And there's nothing wrong with stock life. I feel like you guys are going to inspire me to get
Yo,
on stock.
I mean, stock. I mean, now that the stock stuff is just getting so good now too. I mean,
Oh,
if it was
amazing.
if it was like 10 years ago, I wouldn't be saying this. I was, looking for Omnisphere. I was looking for Nexus, especially like 10 years ago. I was like all about the third party stuff. Even though like FL still had some like good stuff, and if you know how to manipulate stuff, you could get a good sound out of thing. The thing is like at that time, I didn't really know how to manipulate things as
Right.
well.
You would
as I
just
do
plug
now.
it in. You would put it on and be like, "Oh, that sounds good. I'll use that."
Yeah, like Nexus would just have the sound, like, you'd get packs from anywhere. You go on YouTube and find somebody that was just dropping free packs,
Yep.
left and right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and you can get the sound. You get the sound right away. But I gotta get back on the third party stuff. That's awesome. Talk about the pack a little bit. What's in the pack? And you sound design obviously with the pack, so it's like,
Oh, yeah.
what inspired you to make a pack like this? What's in it? How did you go about making it?
So what inspired me to make this pack is called Bannahme. It's an anime pack. I have a series called Anime Trap, and I make anime trap beats, and I just put them on streaming services. I did 2 so far, so this pack is definitely inspired by that. I wanted to make it super unique so that, because I don't know, personally, like I feel like I hear the radio and I feel like I hear the same drums, I hear the same hi-hat, like I hear everything the same. And I feel like if I created something different, maybe some producers would use it, and maybe potentially, it would inspire people to do different things,
Yeah,
So-
I love it.
What's in the pack? Your standard 808s, claps, hi-hats, kicks, percussion. I did some FX. And there are some loops in here. And then I have a pack called Random. It's literally just like random things that I sound design.
That's what's up.
And yeah, it's pretty it's different. If you want to go down a rabbit hole of just like pulling out different things and different sounds and sounding different, this is definitely a dope pack for that.
Hell yeah. I'm going to leave it linked down in the description too, by the way. Oh, that leads me to this. We talked about this earlier. We're going to do the key phrase right now. What should it be? Cobannah, you want to drop the keyword for this week? So what happens is, if you're not familiar, 5 people in the comments are going to win every single one of my FL Studio and production courses from YaHelpMe.com, as well as this anime pack from Cobannah. But you have to drop this keyword or key phrase in the comment section here on YouTube.
I have to drop the key phrase.
If you want to come up with it, the phrase that they or the word that they have to comment.
Oh, it's gonna be hard.
Anything random. It's
Random.
We think of the most random words every week. It could be anything.
Waffle House.
Waffle House.
Waffle House.
There it is.
Hey, yo.
That's the theme of the show. It's just
Yes,
the most
sir.
random keyword or key phrase every week. It's
Love
so
that.
random.
Yo, man.
Sometimes it goes with the episode, Most of the time, it's completely random. So
what's your order at Waffle House? What do you get, by the way?
Man, at Waffle House. First of all, I'm not the biggest fan of Waffle House, but when you're up all night in your studio sessions, that's the only thing open.
The only spot open. Yep.
So I get a veggie omelet.
There you go.
Or I'll get the hash brown bowl with the chicken on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the hack.
I wish they gotta start having more. They gotta put Waffle Houses up here. We don't have any. I think the first Waffle House. I'm in Rhode Island. We're in Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Yep.
Oh.
Land that I reside in.
Yeah. nice and cold up here right now.
Wait, what's Rhode Island known for?
Being the smallest
Family
state.
Guy.
Family Guy.
That show. that's where we're from.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope.
Peter. What else are we known for? I mean, we have some really good schools. We have RISD. It's one of the biggest art schools. Brown University, one of the biggest Ivy League schools.
What about food-wise?
Food-wise, I mean, it's probably
Italian
food, really good Italian restaurants.
Portuguese food.
Pizza. For some reason, they call the pizza belt. I don't even know who made this term up, but it's called the pizza belt. And some of the best pizza in the world is Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey.
You'll need a new belt after you make that visit.
Yeah, for real. But we have really good pizza. Really good pizza.
You need a new belt if you make that trip.
I've gone through my fair share of belts.
I think Atlanta might have the worst pizza I've ever tasted in my life.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Atlanta, oh my god!
If I was in Atlanta, I wouldn't go for pizza. But I mean, they got you got other things that you're known for in Atlanta. There's a lot of other food that you're known for when you go to Atlanta or just down south in general.
But yeah, the pizza in Atlanta.
Struggling.
Yeah. But it's love. It's love.
Yeah, it's the same thing if you go to Florida. If you go to Florida, there's no way I'm getting pizza. It's just if you do it, just get a Domino's or
make it easy.
Yeah, make it easy. Get Domino's because it's the same everywhere.
Yo, real.
Yo, that's the So yeah, we went on a tangent about food, but yeah, that's the keyword and the key phrase for today. If you hear it, you have to comment it on YouTube, and 5 people will get every single one of my FL Studio production courses from YouHelpMe.com, as well as Cobannah's kit. What's the name of that kit again?
Bannahme.
Bannahme. Love that name. I'm
gonna need to get that myself too.
Sure.
But yeah, I think it's about time where I think we can wrap it short and sweet. I think definitely want to do another one with you if you're down.
I'm down.
Yeah, I think this was really dope. I think maybe diving into something else that you have next time around too would be really cool. Maybe some sort of cook up or something. I don't know. But again, I really appreciate you coming on here. So dope.
Oh, I appreciate y'all for having me. I'm so excited to meet you, by the way. You are super dope.
Oh, thank you.
Flowers to you.
Flowers to you. Right back at you. Keep making that content. Content's fire. Beats are fire. You want to drop anything? Any websites where they can find your packs? I'm gonna drop it all in the description below too, where they can find you, follow you, everything.
Okay. You guys can find my packs at www.cobannahgotbeats.com, and you could follow me on Instagram at @IamCobannah. TikTok. I guess I can't say TikTok. I mean, they finna shut it down.
Yeah, it's about to be gonzo.
Yeah, they've been threatening that for 4 years though.
I don't know, man.
Is that really gonna happen or what?
You know who's gonna buy it? This is a little bonus episode right here. Bonus feature about some TikTok stuff. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank is about to buy it.
Uh-oh.
You know the bald dude, Mr. Wonderful or whatever they call him?
Buy it and do what?
He's gonna buy it, and they said that if they do sell it, they're not gonna they don't want anybody in the US to have the algorithm. And he's saying, I don't want the algorithm. We'll make our own algorithm, but keep the TikTok name and keep it in the US. That's the biggest thing. The US wants to keep it only if they can control everything about it. And with somebody from China owning it, they can't.
Yeah.
We don't want you to steal our people's data. We want to steal our people's data.
That's our job.
That's our job. You can't be stealing our country stuff. That's my job.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
we'll see how that goes. That Kevin O'Leary dude, he plays like guitar and stuff, and I've
He's
seen
nuts.
there's an Instagram page that's like Kevin O'Leary playing guitar, and it makes terrible music. He is awful.
Yeah.
You might have all that money, but no soul. Man. You have no taste, bro.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for coming on. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your talent.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it, man. For sure. I will be back.
Yeah, we got to do this again for sure. Yeah, with that being said, again, thank you, Cobannah, for hopping on. Hit the link down in the description below. Find all of her packs. Follow her right now. And if you haven't already, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share this with a friend if you get me.